Save me, Kevin.
Jason, I just love that Bill knows our names. I mean, you obviously know Danny's name. You and me.
No, come on, Bruin. What are you talking about?
You see, I love.
Listen, okay, I know you're caught up in the fact that your Bills are playing so well right now, but there are other teams across the country. There are other programs for college basketball.
True, I know.
Bruin Bond is there for life.
Danny Manning, Sean Farnham, Kevin Connors here in studio. Great finish there for our opener. End of the game. Danny, 2 chances there for Davidson. What did you see?
Coach McKillop does a terrific job in all these situations. They ran a little stagger action for big on big, pin in at the end, and popped a big for a shot. I thought Texas did a really good job getting out to contest that first shot.
Yeah, I agree. And no surprise, we were talking about it. We're like, does McKillop go for the win? Yeah, he didn't go for the win not just once. He went for it twice. The one surprising factor to me was that Kellen Grady wasn't involved in either one of those plays, really. You know, I would have thought maybe he could get downhill, draw the defensive attention, then kick back out to a 3 or try to score a layup. That was the one thing that I took away late in the final 2 possessions.
Meantime, for Texas, it's a great start to the season, and though they made 3-pointers, I know that you guys both felt the fact that they were aggressive and getting it to the rim was a good thing.
It's just bigs running the floor, having great spacing, head up, attack, and there is a mindset with this Longhorns interior, and the mindset is very simple. I want to rip the rim off. That's basically what they did throughout the course of the game. There's about 3 or 4 other dunks, by the way, in the second half alone that we could have shown. Greg Brown had one. Sims had another one. When the mindset of the interior is to catch and finish above the rim and through contact, I think that gives your team a distinct advantage when attacking the paint.
Energy-generating behavior. Paint touches, baby. Paint touches.
Pounded inside, and Texas did that, and they come away with the opening round win. Meantime, well, the story in college basketball Sunday was what happened inside Rupp Arena. Coach Chris Mooney, Richmond taking on Kentucky. Sean, they didn't shoot it well, but he didn't shoot it well, but Jacob Gilliard's a star.
How about that? I mean, just the awareness to get that steal, throw it behind the back. They settled down in the second half, Coach. We talked about this yesterday when we were watching this game. They rushed some shots in the first half. It changed in the second.
They sure did. They got comfortable. They got to their backdoor cuts. They got to the free throw line. They started knocking down threes. Tremendous job.
What a win for the Spiders, 76-64. And we're joined now by the head coach of the Richmond Spiders, Chris Mooney. Coach, congratulations on the win. I know coaches, I know you're on to the next game. It's a brand new week. But if you could for a moment, take us back 24 hours. What does it mean for you and your program to beat Kentucky in Rupp Arena?
Well, it's certainly a terrific accomplishment. You know, I've been coaching for a little over 20 years, and we've never played Kentucky or even been in the same tournament or anything. So you don't get that many opportunities to play against, the top echelon programs in the country. So for us to have the opportunity and then to seize the opportunity and be able to win down there is really special. You know, Kentucky is one of the all-time great programs, one of the great programs of today. So, a great accomplishment by our program and by our players, and we're really excited, and I think we recognize how significant it is.
Coach, what was your message to your players at halftime? I thought they came out in the second half, and there was a little bit more comfort in running your offense.
Danny, no, you're absolutely right. I thought in the first half, we anticipated Kentucky maybe trying to pressure us more. And I think they played more of a containment-type defense where they were, concerned about the cutting, and things like that, and use their length to contest our shots. And I think that made us not move as well or as hard on offense. And then we just talked about it at halftime, just trusting your offense. We did talk about, we didn't want to slow the game down on offense, but we said that the longer our possessions are, the harder it's going to be for a young team to continue to defend us. And so that wasn't to say don't take transition opportunities or don't be restricted at all, but we wanted to make sure that if we got into a position where the clock was going on when we were on offense, that was probably to our advantage, and I think a couple of those possessions showed up and really helped us.
Coach, last year you and I were sitting in Brooklyn talking about this team and the year that we expected your squad to have. It was a great year for the Spiders last year, but you bring back a plethora of seniors this year, and expectations were already high. Now you're nationally ranked. Now you beat Kentucky in Rupp Arena. How do you manage being the team that's being hunted now for the remainder of your season with this very experienced group that you have?
Yeah, well, that will be, that's a great challenge to have, better than the other way around. I will say that having an older team is such an incredible advantage, and there are so many positives that come along with it. Just in how we reacted last night to come back home and seeing the guys this morning, just what how they feel and how they express themselves. It's just such a great advantage to have older guys who understand that this is what happens and that our next game on Wednesday at College of Charleston is critically important and is going to be a tremendous challenge. So, hopefully for us, we'll go about the business of getting ourselves ready and having a good hard practice. But I don't think we need to hammer it into our guys' heads that the Kentucky game was only one game. Obviously, we'll say it, we'll stress it, but I think our guys will be ready to practice well and put themselves in a good position for Wednesday.
And, Coach, along those lines, I'm most curious to know, whether it's from a confidence standpoint with this team or recruiting or anything else, beating Kentucky for the Richmond Spiders, how has it changed your program?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's what we keep saying and with my family and the staff. It's Kentucky. It's the first or top 3 or 4 program you think of in college basketball. So it has a lot of significance. It carries a lot of significance. And to have a win there, I really do think should give us tremendous confidence. And I feel that it will. I think even during the course of the game, as we stretched our lead, I felt like you could see the confidence growing right there. And we were already a confident team, but, it had been so long since we played and it was such a long off season that you're not quite as certain about what maybe you're capable of, how you're going to play when the game comes. So to be able to go out and play and win that game, I think really is a big injection of confidence into an already confident team.
Well, and I think as Sean alluded to, there are now a lot of teams out there saying, we're looking for program-changing wins against Richmond. It's the standard you've set. Coach, congratulations on the win. Good luck and good health the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Great to see you all.
Spiders number 19 in the new top 25, their highest ranking since 1957-58. Incredible. We'll talk Kentucky coming up in a bit. We're going to talk about North Carolina right now. They're part of the night action at the Maui Invitational. Coach Caleb Love, the crown jewel of this Heels team.
Very talented player. He's going to come in and run the show. He does a terrific job of distributing the basketball and has a feel for scoring as well.
Rebels dropped their season opener to Craig Kilborn's alma mater, Montana State. They have a guy, Bryce Hamilton, UNLV does, who can fill it up. Sean, Carolina, we know all about the big boys. Where does that front court rank for you in college basketball?
They're number 1. They're the best front court in the country. And I think when you think about Brooks and Baycott and Sharp, they're so deep and they're so talented. It's easy to fall in love with what Carolina has. And then Gonzaga, when they go Kispert down the floor, Coach, we were talking about this the other day, Timmy and Kispert, that is a dangerous. They can space the floor, they can attack, they can finish. Culver and Shibwe were 5th best in rebounding margin last year at West Virginia. Reavers and Potter, outstanding for Wisconsin. They're going to be in the thick of it when you look at that race. And then Luka Garza, and McCaffrey's on the list, but Luka Garza. Did I mention Luka Garza
Yes.
for Iowa? He's reason alone to have Iowa inside the top 5 there.
I like your list, but I would flip-flop West Virginia and Gonzaga. I think those bigs from West Virginia, they do great work. And Gonzaga right now, when you move Kispert to the 4, he's just a little bit undersized.
We'll find out, by the way, at the Jimmy V Classic that's going to happen later on this week, because that's going to be an unbelievable matchup. And Coach, I wouldn't argue with you at all on that. I think that, look, when you rebound, I think offensive rebounding percentage last year was 44%. I mean, it's almost better for West Virginia to miss shots than to make shots.
Throw it up there and go get it.
Company synergy from Sean Farnham is tremendous here. The Jimmy V Classic coming up here in just a bit. The nightcap tonight, I think we all agree, sneaky good matchup here. Stanford, Alabama. Cards making their season debut. Sadly, that game against Mark Madsen's Utah Valley team was canceled. Tide won their opener. Jaden Shackelford was big. They've got Villanova transfer Javon Quinterly, who was sensational in the debut. And Sean, the Stanford Cardinal have a kid named Zaire Williams from your neck of the woods who is impressive.
Yeah, look, he was the Wooden Award winner in the state of California because of his play at Sierra Canyon. Now, a lot of people naturally have already taken notice to B.J. Boston, what he's been able to do at Kentucky. Well, Zaire was his teammate and outperformed him all season long last year. This is a program-changing recruit for Stanford, and Jared Haas's team is going to make the NCAA tournament this year. These two teams in this matchup, this is the game I'm most looking forward to today because I think they're the dark horses in both the SEC and the Pac-12 to win the conference championship.
I agree with you. I mean, to me, just watching these guys, the aura of the Maui tournament, even though it's not in Maui, still feels the same to me, and that's exciting.
And, Danny, some terrific freshmen in this tournament alone, right?
Yes, Greg Brown, terrific. Gets out, does a lot of different things. I really like his length and athleticism. And Josh Primo, he's somebody that he's a nightmare matchup for a lot of different people just because of his body and his feel for the game.
Look, a lot of guys, we're not in Maui at the Maui Invitational this year, but I would recommend the Early Bird. It's an outstanding breakfast spot in Asheville, North Carolina. I've done the SoCon Conference tournament in that building. The Early Bird, that's where you need to go eat.
Guys all over college basketball. We're like 5 days into the season. Farnham's all over it, and so are we when we come back. We'll get you set for the Champions Classic. That's kind of like the unofficial, official start to things really getting going. The Blue Bloods having at it. We'll tell you what and who to watch coming up next.
Versace Eros. Fragrance for men.
The Versace Eros gift set for men.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
Next time you carry out 3-topping Domino's pizzas for $7.99 each, try Domino's Carside Delivery. Just check in online and we'll quickly and safely bring out your food so you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey Hamlin, I like your PJs.
The new Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic responds to snoring automatically, so no hiding under your pillow or opting for the couch. Your best sleep, all night, every night. During the Tempur-Pedic Smart Sleep event, save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets.
We all have our own journey ahead of us, our own hopes and dreams. We'll pass many milestones, moments that define you and drive you to achieve even more. So celebrate every one, because success isn't just about where you want to get to. It's also about how you get there.
Cut on rehearsal.
The all-new 2021 Cadillac Escalade. Never stop arriving.
When it comes to health insurance, don't settle for less. With Ambetter, you get low-cost plans loaded with valuable benefits. A network with hundreds of doctors to choose from. Convenient telehealth options with $0 copays. Plus, you could even qualify for financial help to lower your premiums. Wow. Now, that's better. Ambetter is reliable coverage that's a great value. Find your plan today.
Back on College Basketball Live Scoreboard, Kevin Connors, Coach Danny Manning, Coach Sean Farnham as well. Michigan State, Duke, Champions Classic. Sparty toppled Eastern Michigan and Notre Dame to start the year. Joey Hauser in the fold. Coach DJ Stewart sparkled in his debut for Duke, but Jalen Johnson is no joke.
He's no joke at all. He's athletic. He's long. He's versatile. He scores. He blocks shots at the rim. He does it all. And once he gets the ball in transition, pushes it up the court, he is a hard guy to match up with.
There's no doubt he's going to be a lottery pick when you're talking about top-tier talent that you have to watch in college basketball this season. His ability, as Coach was talking about, to get to the paint, finish around the basket. I think one of the biggest things you have to do is you have to box him out. He's an outstanding offensive rebounder. I think this Duke Blue Devils team obviously has a tremendous amount of turnover with so many new faces. But Johnson's going to be the guy we're talking about. We talked so much about Cade Cunningham. This freshman class is loaded. Jalen Johnson's a guy that's a lottery pick, probably top 5 pick. So you have to watch him and enjoy him this one season.
And what you talked about earlier, KC, DJ Stewart is very good as well.
He is. Wow. Again, that stat line, 19 and 19. Way to introduce yourself to college basketball. Meantime, the other part of the doubleheader, Kansas, Kentucky. Strange to see both teams with losses early on in the season. But in a way, guys, maybe that's something that these programs will benefit from.
Absolutely will. Both those coaches, Coach Self, Coach Kyle, they're going to use those. They're going to say, listen, we got to get better. And that message now it's going to open ears now. Early on, you kind of read your clippings and you kind of, well, we're all this, we're all that. Now it's like, oh boy, we got to bring it night in and night out.
And I think the message, Sean, from Bill Self is going to be on the defensive end, right?
Yeah, they've got to tighten up the D. And without Udoka Azubuike, there's not anybody on the roster that can provide what he did at the defensive end of the floor last year. So they've got to tighten things up. This Gonzaga game, and this because of quality, the ability to run in the open floor in transition and find easy looks. This isn't a secondary break opportunity. Back cut, ball watching. You cannot watch the ball. You've got to shorten things up. You've got to get back into the paint because against this Kentucky team, they're struggling to shoot the three-point shot. As we just saw, they went 0 for 10 against Richmond. Get back in the paint and then close out from there. I think that's going to be key in this game for the Jayhawks.
Absolutely. Contesting shots and then finishing the possession with a rebound.
Fantastic matchups to watch in the Champions Classic. As we continue on here, college basketball live scoreboard. And the freshmen are great and all right, but how about a little bit of love for the super sophomores? We'll give it to them on the other side of this timeout.
For an offensive feast on Monday night. Well, the Seahawks are ready to let Russ cook.
They already know what's going to happen.
Can Wentz lead the Eagles to the upset? Are you ready for Monday night?
Bowl and Branch sheets are incredibly soft, blissfully comfortable, and made from the best material on earth. So you can sleep in heavenly peace. Right now, we're offering our best deals of the year. Visit bowlandbranch.com.
You could brave the icy waters of the North Pacific, or plan each day based on a weather prediction, and always choose the long road instead of the shortcut, just to feed your family the very best that nature provides. Fortunately, we've found some amazing folks who will do all that for you. ButcherBox, proud to partner with those who believe in better.
Alongside Danny Manning and Sean Farnham, I'm Kevin Connors. You know, obviously a lot of great freshmen in college basketball. We've talked about some of them, but the sophomore class is really filled with a lot of stars as well there, Sean. Any theories as to why that is here in 2020?
I think the way that the draft scenario played out this year, not a lot of times to do workouts and get in front of teams and see. So you're getting feedback based on how you played in college. And when there's holes and there's gaps, you got to find a way to fix it.
Talented freshmen returning, veteran players returning.
It's a win for college basketball, right? I think we could all agree on that. A lot of great sophomores to keep an eye on, Sean. This guy, Trace Jackson Davis, scary good.
You're about to see him play Providence here in the Maui Invitational. He is lights out good. We remember the game last year against Minnesota, 27-16. He had 12 double-doubles a year ago, working on improving his three-point shot, his ability to stretch you on the outside. I think it's going to be key for the next level, but he's a great Hoosier.
Danny, the Zags are loaded between Suggs and Kispert and Ayayi, but Drew Timme is their leading scorer.
Drew Timme, look at his footwork, inside, outside, very nice touch around the basket, and can step out and make plays, put the ball down on the floor, drive it to the basket, and he's got that moxie. I'm going to come out and compete and show you night in and night out.
So many stars on Mark Few's team. Sean, Illinois is deep. You love the man in the middle.
Oh, yeah, what's not to love about him? Kofi Coburn back and averaged 15 points and 11 rebounds over the last 3 games to start this season. He had 12 double-doubles himself last year. Brad Underwood's team is thinking Big Ten title and potentially a national championship. Bill Walton said it's Kobe and Shaq playing together with him and DeSumo. I don't know if I'd go that far, but, man, he is talented and good.
He's all that. Meantime, Danny, the newest star in Jay Wright's galaxy is Jeremiah Robinson-Earl.
Defensive versatility, switches on ball screen, stays in front of the guard, steps out and makes that mid-range, puts the ball down, very nice handle, very good understanding of the game, and extremely unselfish in his thoughts and his actions out on the court.
If you're 6'9" and you can shoot it, you're playing for Jay Wright. Meantime, Sean, Oscar Tshiebwe, Derek Culver, what a front line Bob Huggins has.
Yeah, if you're 6'9", dominate the paint and absolutely terrorize your opponent, that's who Bobby Huggins likes. And he's got a great one here. I mean, you're talking about a guy that last year led the team in field goal percentage, points, rebounds, blocks. and this is one of the best front courts in the country. And look, if they can start shooting the ball at any kind of level of consistency, West Virginia becomes a team that could win a national championship.
And everybody on that list, big guys. I love it. Big guys, the anchors holding it down.
I love that we're seeing video of guys from, like, this year, maybe even from last year. The college basketball isn't just filled with freshmen. It's a great sophomore, junior, and senior class. The game is filled with stars. Sean talked about one of them, Trace Jackson Davis, in the conversation for Big Ten Player of the Year, a double-double machine. He'll go up against Ed Cooley's Providence Friars coming up here in a matter of 6 minutes.
These little cups would make great stocking stuffers. But how about right now in your mouth stuffers? Happy holidays to your mouth. Not sorry. Reese's.
The new Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic responds to snoring automatically, so no hiding under your pillow or opting for the couch. Your best sleep, all night, every night. During the Tempur-Pedic Smart Sleep event, save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets.
What is it? Bangin'.
This is what I'd call a bangin' burger.
The chilies with the onions and the queso.
Boom. Queso knows where it's supposed to be, where it belongs. Sonic Queso Burger.
This is the story of two Bills. One is used to things being hard. The other found a smarter way. One does it how it's always been done. The other does it better. So which one is yours? Maximize your savings, invest from anywhere, finance your home for all things money.
Thank you for calling Ally.
This is Nancy. She offered you a homemade cookie. So when she said your trade-in was worth $12,000, you believed her. But was it a lie? The cookie? The offer?
Fresh out of the oven.
Next time, start with CarMax and get a custom offer good for 7 days. The way it should be. CarMax.
When it comes to health insurance, don't settle for less. With Ambetter, you get low-cost plans loaded with valuable benefits. A network with hundreds of doctors to choose from. Convenient telehealth options with $0 copays. Plus, you could even qualify for financial help to lower your premiums. Wow. Now, that's better. Ambetter is reliable coverage that's a great value. Find your plan today.
Back here on College Basketball Live Scoreboard, breaking news from the world of college football. And it's devastating for Indiana fans. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. has a torn ACL. He will miss the remainder of the season. Indiana having an incredible season in the mix for a possible New Year's Six invitation. They'll take on Wisconsin this week, but when they do so, it will be without their star quarterback Michael Penix Jr. So devastating news there for Indiana. The Hoops team set to take on Providence here in just a bit. And, Coach, you've got something real neat that you're going to bring to the conversation this year. You know, the box score gives us points and rebounds and field goal percentage and things like that, but you like to go beyond the box score.
I do. We like to call them energy-generating behaviors, things that bring juice and energy to your team. So my top 6 right now, getting a stop on the defensive end, a full court run in 6 seconds or less, being verbal on defense, communicating to your teammates, deflections, loose ball recoveries, or 50-50 balls, and paint touches. Those 6 things I think are really big, especially early on in this college basketball season.
And by the way, his list is about 20 deep. It's so good, Coach, when you talk about it, because those are the winning plays. And so often we focus on the end result, but yet we're missing the process that leads to that successful finish and why a team was able to be victorious or not.
It's a terrific list. We'll talk more about that as the season goes along. Meantime, Providence, Indiana here. Give us something to watch from Ed Cooley's team, the Friars.
Look, I think when you're talking about Ed Cooley's team, you're talking about a team that year in and year out, they're going to get after you at the defensive end. They're going to play with a relentless, tough, and physical nature. I think that's what Indiana's going to have to deal with early in this game.
No question about it. They are going to take the mindset of Coach Cooley, who's a hard-rocking dude.